go for it.
Thank you for listening to Interview with DJ Nocturna. Please like, subscribe, and share if you're watching on my YouTube channel. I'm so happy today. It is a wonderful day because I've got the Munich German duo on the interview. I believe they're from the southern part of Germany. I got Diana.
Yep.
And Boog, Diana and Boog, Junksista. I'm gonna pronounce that right. The way that we pronounce it in Hawaii is Junksista. And I was just telling you guys, in Hawaii, when you have a really good female friend, sometimes they will call them sister. You know, like the way that you guys spell it, sister. Hey, sister. How you doing, sister? You know, so.
They picked a good name, apparently.
Yeah, that's a great name. I like the name. It's so unique. So tell us about the name. How did you guys come up with that name?
Actually, that name was there before the band, because before we started Junksista, I was already being a DJ since, I don't know, quite a few years for sure. And I think I had a really stupid DJ name at the beginning that even if I could remember, I wouldn't say in public. Yeah. But then at one point, I came up with Junksista as my DJ name. And when we decided to do music together, we just decided to keep this name because, like you just said, it's very unique. We checked, like, it's always good if you search it on Google and only your band comes up, for example, you know. So we saw that for this reason, it's quite a good band name, but also we just thought it fits in general. We both liked it. So that's how it happened.
When you Google it, you only find you guys are the only one out there. You know how you have some bands, when you Google it, I mean, you can't even hashtag them if their name is popular, because then everybody's, but you know, that's why I always say to myself, you gotta have an original name so that when you hashtag it, it will only be you. Yeah.
Damn right.
That's really smart. That's a really smart thing you guys did there. So how did you guys collaborate? How did you meet? And it looks like a really good collaboration. I can tell that you guys communicate really well.
Yeah, that was quite a long history, because I would say we didn't start as friends. No, the start was quite it was quite difficult at times.
Lots of tension, I would say.
Lots of tension, because I was touring with my rock band at the time, and we need a DJ for our release party, and some friend of us recommended Diana for us, the DJ in Junksista. I think that was the name already.
Yeah, but it was already,
Was already.
That was the name, yeah.
And so
I saw the flyer of that gig just 2 days ago. I just cleaned up my old stuff that are flying around, and it was from 2000 and what? 12? Or
no,
4? I don't know.
4. I think the first one was 4. I think there was the one with you.
It was really, really old for sure. And
really,
I thought,
really? Yeah.
That's when we actually met for this gig.
Right, and we booked a DJ for the after party, and that was Diana. That was the first time we met.
Mm-hmm. And so DJ Junksista, is that what you were called at the time?
Yeah.
Oh.
So he actually hired DJ Junksista back then.
I hired
yeah.
Right,
wow.
and that's when I came to know Diana, and then that was the first time. And then I think you told me that you are starting to make some music.
Yeah, I think I just had some demos going on, and since he's a really good guitar player, obviously, I just asked him if he wants to come over and record some guitars with me, and then we ended up not only recording guitars, but actually working on the tracks together. And even though we were bitching at each other constantly, somehow we still liked it enough to continue. And I remember at one point I actually asked you, like, so do you want to join this officially, or like, are we doing this together now, or what is this now? And he was like, yeah, okay, why not?
Right, but there was a time I just thought that was some kind of fun to do an electro band, because I was a rocker and did nothing else. I just wanted to do rock music, but I grew to like that electro stuff.
Yeah. So
I
how
hope
did
so.
how did you know that you guys were gonna do well together? I mean, I know you guys. I mean, nothing is ever perfect in anything, right? In you know, sometimes do you guys ever like disagree on something, or do you guys always like figure a way to manage that?
I would say we used to disagree quite a lot.
Yeah.
But not on the important things, I guess, because then we would probably not have continued. It's
Mhm.
like in the end, when we were done with something, we were both, of course, we agreed that that's cool what we just made and we both like it, but the process was difficult, but also because it was like we learned together. Like I was just, I mean, I was being a DJ and I started to learn how to produce music, and he was just playing guitar at the time, you know, like, of course, we both knew how to write songs, but all the technical stuff, and it was, I guess it's much easier now because all the technical things are not difficult for us anymore, and we know each other so well. So it's pretty easy for us to work together, especially because we have very similar taste. Like I listen to completely different kinds of music than he does, but there's some stuff that we both like, but we really love it, both of us. So when we get together to record our own music, we just know what we're going to put in there that's going to make us both happy. So there's not much disagreement there.
Right. We grew into a really great team because that's obviously we are bitching around as we did before, but it's now it's we know that we both want the same. So it's just
and
that's some kind of game.
And it's been since when, like 2009 or even earlier than that?
I think in 2009 we released our first EP that was like self-released, Click Me, if you remember, right. Because Boog tends to forget our song titles and EP and album names. It's always, it's the one with the something, you know, but he never knows what it's actually called.
Yeah, that was the same for the gigs we did. you kept remembering what the name of the song was that we played.
Yeah,
that's quite a while already. You know, that's a long time. I would say 2009. That was wow. And this what you have 4 albums out, something like that. Is it 4?
3 out.
3
out.
And
the 4th.
No, and then the one now, right? The one that's coming out soon, which I'm really excited to talk about. But yeah. So Diana, I know you're inspired by Shirley Manson, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of great 80s and 90s and just really good stuff. I don't know. Yeah. Do you guys like disco as well?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yay. I love disco. I talk about disco. I mean, it may not look like I like disco because I'm always in black, but I really do.
Same for us. I think disco is the one biggest love we share, like funk and disco, and then obviously
yeah, that's great. Yeah, you know, I'm always looking for friends who love disco, and I could rarely find them. I have like no, seriously. I mean,
I know.
we know.
It's really a far few. It's really like, I mean, I would say there's probably like maybe 3 people. I know, really like
the three people in this interview.
And now you guys, now. No, really, it's really difficult to find friends that even know. I mean, it's not because they're younger. I mean, there's somebody like the people close to my age. They don't know disco. They only know like the popular disco songs. Like, what about the deep, like, you know, Euro disco, the one that really like, you know, then they don't know. So I'm like, when I finally find somebody like you guys, I'm like, whoa, I feel like I'm gonna
yeah, we try to smuggle in some disco into our tracks from time to time.
Yeah, because you know it is the foundation of dance music, you know, disco. And I always thought like it's such a, I mean, those instruments back then, I mean, it's just amazing to me, you know. It just brings so much joy to my heart. No, really, it really does. So I'm so glad that you guys are. I love your this is not disco, it's 80s, but I do love your version of the Salt and Pepper song, Push It, which I thought
that was fun.
I really like it. I love it when you say that your name's Junksista here, you know. I thought I was really sexy to put that in. And then because it sounds kind of what do you call it? It kind of like Junksista.
Yeah, that's
Oh my God.
oh my God, that's hilarious, because that's a band name that maybe will be some in some future could be.
We were talking about it.
real band.
Oh, really? Is it really?
It's a
Right.
thing, like we keep talking about it since, I would say, the beginning, almost since a long time, because we would add a lot more disco and funk to our music, but then we always feel like we have other influences that we also want to add. So we just kind of try not to be too disco heavy, I would say. But we feel like we need an outlet. So we said that there should be Junksista as well as a side project. Or maybe just an album, like a concept album.
I think that's a great idea. I was thinking about that, because you got the German lyrics in there in the song too, which I thought was really sexy. With the I know it was really nice. I mean, and then with the cat videos that made it even more sexier. The cat dropping things on the floor, which is like a push it, and that's really I thought that was really cool. So I really when I air the video, I'll be sure to put that song in because I think it's a great song, and I'll add a little bit of
you will be the first person that will receive the new Junksista album once it's done. I promise that.
Oh my God, thank you. No, I seriously, I really hope you guys play a lot more of that. I know you do different things, your electronic and all that stuff, but I think a lot of the 80s. So do you guys have inspirational bands of the 80s that you like? Besides I know you like Cyndi Lauper and
Sure. I think it's hard to narrow it down to certain bands. I think it's more like the general sound aesthetics of the 80s, like the typical sounds they were using back then. I mean, they only had certain instruments at their disposal. There's different sounds than you would hear now in the pop or dance music. And we just love this retro vibe. And also the way the songs were produced, it was a bit different, like just the structure of songs. And it would be really difficult for me to narrow it down. When I used to be a DJ, 80s was my specialty. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So I have I love the 80s, obviously. So it would feel like a betrayal to just name a few bands.
I know that'd be hard. Yeah. I mean,
so much great stuff about the 80s and the synth sounds, the detuned synths. That's something you rarely hear now because all the synth stuff is virtual instruments, and so we really love that not so perfect stuff. It's a certain vibe. That's what we love about it.
Yeah.
So Diana's always bitching about my funky playing because it's not really on the beat as it would be if it's quantized, if it would be programmed. But in the end, that's a groove. Yeah, and that's something of the 80s too, because sometimes that's just not perfect, and that's what at least I am missing from music today, because I like that it's not that sterilized.
Yeah, it's that charm, that imperfection.
Right.
And I know you released Oxytocin. Right, that's where the album's in, the song is in, as well as other. This one came out in May, I believe, May of this year. Yeah. And do you guys like the 70s as well? Not disco, but just like the 70s soul kind of soulful music. Yeah, me
for
too.
Sure. Yes. For sure.
I always thought like the most romantic songs were written in the 70s. When it comes to ballads, in my opinion, that's just my opinion. Because there were so many that came out, from Gladys Knight to the Pips, the Fifth Dimension and all that, Right. I thought it was just a beautiful time for love. I'm not saying there's no great ballads that's coming out now. There are many, of course, but I don't know. They were just like memorable stuff back then. And
it makes me feel old to say this, but I say it all the time. Like back then, everything was better, especially music.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
No, but that's just my taste. I realize that. So obviously, I listen to lots of modern stuff. Actually, probably more than you, Boog, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Probably more modern stuff, but it just speaks more to me, the old stuff. like for the
Right.
reasons we just said, like it feels more real and yeah.
I like the old stuff because I'm old. You like the old
Yeah.
stuff because it's cool.
No, you guys are a great collaboration, because obviously you guys produce all these wonderful songs, especially the latest one that you just released, right? The latest one that just came out, which I really Death by Heartache. Beautiful lyrics. I like it when there's a song about the soul in the lyrics. I mean, it really gets to me. I mean, that's the first song. Actually the first lyric I heard when you played that. It just struck me when I first played it. Yeah. So I know you guys share the writing, right? The lyrics of the writing.
Not the
Or do you
lyrics. The lyrics is Diana's work.
completely? Oh, okay.
Completely,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He's too lazy. I would let him write some lyrics, but I don't think he wants to.
So
but
how so do you guys live in the same general area, or do you because I know you share, you send things out to each other, right?
yeah, I mean, we live close enough to actually have sessions together. Like usually I go to his place because over time he just got the better studio for sure. Like we have everything there we need. And but since, you know, COVID, and since it's kind of far, we are able now to have remote sessions that really, really helped us. So we can just be spontaneous and just meet and do our producing on the sofa at home, you know. It's pretty awesome. And then of course we send stuff back and forth. Like I would usually send maybe a demo of a vocal recording or like an idea or whatever, and then we work on it together. That's how it usually works.
Yeah. And you know, big shout out to Christian at COP International. You guys are on this label now, and you have a new your latest EP was just released like a couple of days ago, right? It's called Death by Heartache. So it's an EP, and now I know you guys are a little bit secret about this, but I know there's an album coming out soon.
Yep,
I don't know.
We shouldn't be too secret about it because we want to sell it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, when this airs, it's gonna be on the release after the date it was released, you know. So
because you already know the date.
Yeah, I already know the date. That's why, but I'm not gonna say anything. But it's gonna be like after the date. So when this airs, it's actually gonna people are gonna know. You know what I mean? So
yeah. But we should really tell people soon. I don't even know why we didn't so far. But there's also, I have to say, we changed the date just recently. It was supposed to be a different date, and then we just discussed it with Christian, and there were some good reasons to actually find a different date. So now it's actually sooner than it was supposed to be, and I think we just never decided when we should announce it. Maybe we should have a little talk later and decide that.
Right. I mean, that's the album is we finished the last song of the album about 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's an old album actually to us.
No,
for us it's an old
like
album,
2 years ago. Okay.
But it's a very important album because that's this album is the one that we decided to do all the stuff we ever want to do on an album, but you know when you're doing an album, you just have questions if it would be the right style for the time, or for if the audience likes it or something. That's always something, even if some bands don't tell you that they want the fans to like it, because they are doing everything they want, obviously without without having to hear what the others want to say. But this one is an album that's really personal, and it's just we two sat together and said what do we want to do with this album, and we said we wanted it to do as if we don't have a label, and if we don't have a scene and something and no fans yet. And so just the Junksista experience, just what we wanted to do, and just everything that's in there is purely Junksista. I think that's so. That's
how many you're now the first song you released, and then are you releasing other songs before the actual release of the album?
No, we're gonna just release one more music video of the EP, the Death by Heartache EP, that we announced that today actually, so that's not a secret. There will be this song that we're just going to feature with the video, but that's not one from the album. Like the next big thing is actually going to be the album, and then after the release, we will of course release singles and maybe shoot some more videos. I feel that's a good way just to put the spotlight on each song, you know, like, hello, look at it. There's a song, you should pay attention to it. So we're gonna try to have more music videos, but no, the album is the next big thing. Nothing in between.
So any what about the album cover? You have any particular ideas on that or thoughts on that?
You mean the artwork, the cover?
Yeah, the artwork. Yeah, the artwork. Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yep, I have. Yep.
But do you mean is there a story behind it, or do you want me to explain?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say too much, whatever you guys, because I know you guys don't want to say too much, but it's actually this is gonna air after the album is released. So
I can say something about that, because I actually talked about that with Christian yesterday. We had a little label call. We have lots of those calls recently because there's lots of stuff to prepare.
It's actually beautiful. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if this is the cover itself. It says Death by Heartache. It's a picture of a girl, showing half of her breast.
Yeah. So all of these EP covers, they were drawn by the same artist. Her name is Maria. Big shout out to her in case she's watching.
Shout out to her. It's beautiful. Yeah.
She's awesome. I used to work with her before, and we just stayed in touch. And I asked her at one point, so maybe would you be interested in working with us, drawing something? And then she did all these covers. And the first two EPs, I basically told her what should be on the cover. I was just like, I want this finger. We want the Walkman. But for Death by Heartache, we did it differently. I sent her the song, and I just told her, listen to this song, and then draw what you feel, or whatever comes to your mind when you listen to this song. And I had no idea what she's gonna draw at all. I didn't know. And then I also asked her to record her drawing, because I already had this idea of including it in a video, maybe, because I always feel it's interesting to look at this process. Like especially drawing. I mean, I used to draw a little, but I feel like it's just interesting to see how a piece of art gets created. So she did that. She drew this half naked blood lady.
Holding the heart.
Yeah, and recorded it, and she sent it to us, and I was just like, oh my God, this is like 100 times cooler than what I even thought she would draw, because I was sure she would do something cool. And so we were able to use the video recording of it for the lyrics video. We included it in this, and I'm just so happy she was a part of it. Like we have this nice little series now of these 3 covers that really go well together.
Mm-hmm. That's so cool, because that album cover is reminds us of the video we shot for Life is Unfair, because that's a scene in the end of Life is Unfair, if you have seen it.
Yeah, with also a cut out heart and some blood and stuff. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to use it for when I promote the interview along with your pictures. I'll figure it out, but yeah, I definitely gotta use this. It's so beautiful, and I think it,
I will print it and replace my stupid Star Wars posters with that. I've already decided.
No, don't say that's stupid.
You guys are funny. Do you guys speak German to each other, or usually English?
No, German.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you can call it German, because in the South where we come from, there's an accent that people speak to that you can never, you can only speak with this accent when you're in the South, but if you go anywhere else in Germany, they will really hate you if you talk like this.
They're loathing this accent.
Yeah, they're so we actually do it even worse than we naturally would, because we think it's funny, and then we also insult each other a lot for fun. That would maybe explain also some of the Junksista lyrics, because sometimes I have ideas for lyrics in the studio while we are actually working on the song, and I think that's usually the silly ones, because they are born out of this silly, bitchy, fun vibes we have going on.
Yeah, the way this is going is normally Diana is when the idea strikes her, that's just the finger comes up, that, oh my God, and then something very silly happens. Normally.
He's scared of the finger when he just sees me.
The finger.
He's like, no, put it away.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, no, but that's what makes you guys so, so original. You're not afraid. You're bold enough to say, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna short finger. I'm gonna say these lyrics. I'm just gonna say it as it is. Yeah.
Yeah, we just always feel like, as long as we have fun creating it, then it's the right thing to do. Because how would we know what people enjoy? I mean, we hope people enjoy what we do. It's awesome when people tell you they were listening to your music and that made them feel something, or they had fun with it. That's great. But in the end, while you're doing it, you can only rely on what do you like and what is fun for you to do in that moment. And I think we perfected that, really, because we are always having so much fun, and we really learned how to not care. I mean, sometimes we feel like, yeah, let's make sure the song is playable for DJs, or that we even plan before, like, oh, today we feel like we should do something clubby or dancey, but then we just let stuff happen as it comes to us. And then the biggest challenge is not to add too many funky 70s guitars. This is like
I like those, actually. I really like them.
I love them.
That's the process. We're always adding funky guitars, and then we were deleting it.
I was just saying, why delete that? I like it. But yeah, I guess I don't know how other people think, but I don't know. I like a lot of things, really. I like sometimes I ride my car and I'm playing goth music. The next day I'm playing R&B, classic R&B, and then sometimes I'm playing jazz, so
that's the way to do it. Just play what you like. That's not a scene thing. That's a personal thing. Music is a personal thing.
I think it's actually a gift to be able to enjoy lots of different music, because I always feel like, I mean, everyone can like what they like, obviously, but there are some people that are like, well, I like this and this, and everything else is shit. I mean, there's people that with that kind of mindset, and okay, sure, but I feel like they're missing out. Like, I'm able to, like you just said, enjoy so many different things, and every time I listen to something entirely different, I'm like, oh, it's cool that I can actually draw some fun out of this. And it's a good thing too. I mean, it makes it a bit difficult for us sometimes, because if we're not careful, we're going to add 7 different styles of music in one song, and there's actually a point where it's too much, that we also learned. That you have to commit to a few things per song. Of course you can have different influences all over the place, but I feel like you need a theme in each song. But for us, it's really like, since we enjoy lots of different things, you really have to make a decision during the process of writing the song, like, okay, what's it going to be? But that works too.
So if people want to check out your music, you're in Bandcamp, you're in copint.com, compinternational.com, and also your website, junksista.de.
Yeah, we have a YouTube channel with lots of videos.
Yes, also YouTube. Yeah, just look for Junksista on YouTube and Bandcamp. Yeah,
the name is unique. You're going to find us for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Hashtag. Don't worry about the hashtag. You got them right there. Yeah, that's why. Is there anything special about the album that you want to mention, that you want to reveal at this time, or not really? I don't want to force you guys to reveal anything you don't want to.
I think it's time to reveal some stuff, because let's face it, it's coming in a few days. So
it's gonna be aired like the day after. Yeah. Well, I don't even know, because you said you changed the date.
I think I will probably announce it next week in a few days.
This show will be aired on October. I actually have it right here. October 8th.
Okay, perfect. So
Yeah.
what could we reveal about the album? One thing I like about it is also the artwork. It's done by our friend Fabio. We used to shoot videos with him, and he did artwork for us before. And he did such a great job. Like, we really, really love it. And what I also like about it is we had these EPs now with just drawings that were somehow reflecting the content of the EP. And the album cover is us. And it's like Boog said, we wanted to make it really personal and just really be very unfiltered on it. So I like the idea that we had these drawings, and now the album cover is us. It's a similar style. And what I also really like about it, that's also the first time we did that. We decided before we even started how many songs are going to be on that album. And we decided on purpose that it's only going to be 10, because we always had more than 10 songs so far, which is reasonable, you know, like you can easily put 12, 13, 14 songs on an album. 10 is rather short. But the reason for this is that we thought if we force ourselves to only produce, or let's say we produce more than 10 songs, but we have to pick 10 in the end, only make 10 or only pick 10, it's going to really put some pressure on us to do our best work, you know, because if you make 20 songs and you're like, oh, let's just take 15 out of there, it's a different process. And it was harder than we thought in the end, because it's always the same. You make a new song and you think that's the best song you ever made because you just made it.
Because it's new.
Because it's new, and you feel like, oh my God, we need to add that. It needs to go on the album as well. And it was so hard sometimes to decide, no, we have the 10 songs, it's done. We put them there for a reason. We put those 10 songs together because they work together and they're from that same area, like the time frame where we decided to do this. And I'm quite happy that we stuck with it, because just really, I don't even know, like very shortly before we had to upload the music and give it to the label, we almost added a song. It was really a last minute discussion, because there was this 11th song that everyone loves, and the label said it's awesome, we should do something with that song. We were like, okay, I guess we have to put it on the album then. And then really last minute we were like, fuck no, we made that decision, 10 songs, we're gonna stick with it, god damn it. And now I'm really proud that we that we managed to keep it that way. So this album is very different in many ways for us. I mean,
and I know there's there's a song in there, there's a cover I really love. Yeah.
well.
Yeah. So how many do you have any covers in there besides? I know some your originals, right, are in there as well. And
in the album there's no okay, in the album there's no cover.
There's not. Let me see. The 10cc.
That's on the EP.
That's on the EP. That's
on the EP. Yeah. Okay, so that's not going to be part of the album. It's not going to be. Okay.
Only that might be confusing, because we always took one album song, like Fuck Your Pretty Face, then Oxytocin High, and then Death by Heartache. Basically the singles of each EP, they're going to be on the album, but the other songs we wrote them especially for the EPs.
Oh, okay, all right.
So the good news is there's going to be 7 more songs that no one heard yet, because all the others were just really like a bonus, you know.
Now I'm really curious. Okay.
Lots of new stuff coming up.
I just have to wait for your live Facebook. You know, if people want to follow you on Facebook, if you want to know what's going on, the latest thing. I know you guys go on Facebook and you announce things, so people can follow you on Facebook, which is your Facebook page, and you're also on Twitter, right?
Not very active though, because it's always the same, you know, you're a musician and you're supposed to use social media a lot, which I think we kind of do, but I think we kind of committed to Instagram and Facebook mostly at this point.
Yeah.
So if people want to not miss stuff, either Instagram or Facebook, they're gonna get all the news.
Okay, well, I'm really excited to for the new album coming out in October. Junksista.
Very soon.
Junksista.
Yeah.
Diana, thank you so much for joining me. You know, I was gonna ask you one more question. So, what are your sun signs?
Sun signs.
Yeah, your horoscope.
I'm a Sagittarius.
Oh, just like me.
I'm Pisces.
You're Pisces?
Yeah, Pisces.
Oh, Pisces. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you do have a good connection. Yeah.
Do
All
we?
right. Yeah.
I don't know about these things, but it's good to get confirmation that it fits on this level too.
Well, you know, it's more than just a sun sign. There's a moon sign, the ascendant, and everything else in your chart that actually works.
Interesting. Okay.
I like to ask everybody that I'm interviewing their sun sign, because I don't know, I'm gonna make it a point to ask everybody I interview about their sun sign. Because
I didn't even know his sign until now, so I learned something new about him.
Yeah. So, and we really fit well together, Diana. That's
who would have thought?
That's the reason why.
I'm slightly shocked, but okay.
All right. So people want to, copint.com for more information on you guys, and looking forward to the album, and I'd love to have you guys back on the show again in the future, because
Anytime.
And the Funk Sister coming out soon.
Yeah. We'll be the first to know it.
It's a dream. It's a dream.
I can actually see it coming.
It will come.
Me too. It will come. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, I'm gonna thank you guys for coming on the show. I'm just gonna turn this off. If you could just hold up for just a moment. Thank you guys for coming on the show.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, well, one moment.